Hey y'all. Hey. Hey y'all. Hey. How's everybody doing today? On this Sunday, I know I switched it up, y'all, but y'all know what? It's the holiday weekend, and you know how my family do me. I'm the designated cook for the family. So I have to cook. So I had to do a lot of stuff yesterday and then, just to get ready for this show. This show has a lot of data that I have to go through. So it was taking me a while to go through it. Hey, Miss Greek, how you doing, sweetie? So it was taking me a while to go through it, and when I started going through it, I just had to get it all done. So I had to switch, and then I had to go to the grocery store, and get prepped for the holiday. And now I have to get the holiday. I got to cook all the food, me and my niece. So I'm doing that, and then I got to jump on and do this live real quick. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna be on. We can't stay on long, y'all, because if I stay on long, oh my God, ain't no telling what my family will do to me. Okay, so I gotta hurry up, get this information out, and we got to go. So look, y'all, I have been. My name is Kiki Loves Nigeria, and on this show we talk about anything and everything that impacts your repatriation journey. You repadding, you going to visit, you any interest you have in Africa, anything you have to do with Africa, we talk about it. If it impacts you doing what you want to do in Africa, we talk about it. All right, because there's a lot of things that impact us that we won't know. We won't even think about them, because we have a Western mindset and we think with our Western minds. So when we go to Africa, we're not thinking with that African mindset because we don't have that. So that's what this show is about. This show is about helping you understand what goes on, helping you understand how to think, helping you understand the do's and the don'ts, because there's definitely do's and there's definitely don'ts when it comes to West Africa, namely West Africa. All right, so that's what we do here. So this week, we're going back to PVTV Gambia. All right, now this week, I had a chance to really go through PVTV stuff through their website, through everything they sent me, through the emails, and I understand why they're on people's radar. I truly do. If you are a member of the Repad community and you watch PVTV's channel, you are going to say, these are some scammers, or these are some wannabe scammers. And I'm just being honest. And why you're going to say that is because of the things, like I told them, that it's everything that you guys do as a business to make money. Most of the people who do that are scammers. We found out to be allegedly scammers. And people have sent us receipts backing up what they're saying. So I said, that's why people are looking at you like side-eyed, like, are these people scamming too? Or are these people want to be scammers too? Oh, y'all, we got to take that battery out, the smoke detector. That's how you know it's fall, because they all going off. So we got to get that out. Beautiful, when you get a chance, will you get that out? The smoke detector thing. I'll tell you later. Okay. Yeah, listen. So after talking to them, I realized they do. And then on top of them doing the same businesses that the scammers do, the alleged scammers, they, on top of all of that, they have this, I don't know if it's a foundation, I don't know what it is, but they're collecting money for a school. I don't know if they're still doing it, but they were collecting this money for this school. That's something else that we know usually leads down the wrong path. So it's a lot of things that are making people say these people they might be trying to be getting into the scamming business. So I contacted them, like I told you on the last show. I introduced you to Sammy. Sammy was the first person who contacted me. After talking to Mr. Sammy, hold on one second. All right. So after talking to Mr. Sammy, I contacted PVTV, and PVTV responded. And I'm telling you, and I've been to everything you guys ask me, I've been asking them, and they have been responding. They're very nice people. I mean, really nice. He seems like a really open, the guy Adam seems like a really nice guy. He seems really open and honest. It's just that the things that they're doing, like I said, the things that they're doing are the things that the scammers, the alleged scammers, normally do. And that's why, and I told him that's why we're looking at you guys crooked like that. So we got to break this up, because after I talked to Sammy, someone named Global African contacted me, and Global African was talking about tours. Now, I didn't know anything about tours. I knew something about construction. So they do. Let me pull up the website. Let's get this still going, because you know what? Y'all know I got to go. My family going to be coming here in a minute, and I'm on here talking. So let's get this started. Let me do the fair use so we can just go ahead. They're trying to figure out which smoke detector it is, y'all, that's doing that. So, all right. Kiki Loves Nigeria fair use disclaimer. The content on Kiki Loves Nigeria may contain copyrighted content not authorized for use by the owner. However, no copyright infringement is intended. Copyrighted material used on this channel falls under the Fair Use Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, which states copyrighted material can be used for education, research, teaching, and commentary purposes, which is the explicit goal of this channel. The views expressed on this channel, the views, thoughts, and opinions expressed on this channel belong solely to the author and not necessarily to the community, the host, or the channel. All right. So let's get y'all comments up here real quick. And then hey, Brother Robert, how you doing? Hey, Steph. Yes, everybody, happy Labor Day weekend. Yeah, let's get it going, because y'all know I got to get in here and finish cooking. I'm cooking and talking to y'all at the same time. So please forgive me if you have lapses, or I forget what I'm saying and I start talking about something else. Okay, know that I'm multitasking over here. All right. Hey, African Goddess. All right, so everybody's saying hi. How y'all doing? We examine every aspect and we seek the truth. We try to be fair and just. Thank you, Steph said. She's exactly right. That's exactly what we do over here. Everybody's doing good. All right, good. So look, this is what the first thing I want to show y'all. So I believe it was Adam. I don't know. It could have been his wife. But one of the PVTV people sent me this. They sent me some emails. They sent me an email, and they sent me a what was it? What you call it? What is that? WhatsApp. I don't know what you call it on WhatsApp. They WhatsApp me. All right. Now I want to read you what they said. Now this was after I told them about. They emailed me also, so I got to go get the email. But we're going to have to say that for the next show, because I got to divide it up. All right. I got to divide it up. I'm sorry. I thought I was going to be done, but I'm not. All right. Because after going through their videos and their web chat and their web page, it just made me, I have even more questions now. Now, I mean, things are just really popping out at me, and I have even more questions. Okay. And I didn't think they had customers, but they actually have they have 3 clients. They said that I believe it was 3 clients that they've done construction for. And they have I think 3 clients that for the tours also. So he said, so after I contacted him, via email after Mr. Sammy contacted me. This is what they said to me. He said, and this was way back in July. That's why I said I had to do this receipts video started at least today. It says, good evening. It's midnight here, but I'm glad you messaged me so I can give you clear information on how this played out. And honestly, it's a learning experience about how we are going to do business moving forward. We have a video series on our channel of us building an 8x8 tiny house for a client. I'm going to show you guys that. That's what their specialty. They specialize in tiny houses, okay? 8x8. We build it up. We build it up to the structure's completion, leaving the client to put in her finishes as she wanted. So they build it up to, you know, the skeleton part, if you will. But the finishing part, everything how you like the finishing part, you do that part. And that is the most expensive part. We have a video, okay, we talked about that. Samuel in America at the time asked, now he was in America, and I told y'all about doing this. Sending money, we know, this community know, that's another red flag, okay? That people are in America sending them money to do business with them. That's another thing that stands out to me. That's a no-no. So people in America, how much he was in America. So Sam was in America. How much, he asked him, how much was it? How much was the home I built for the client? My wife and I told him the 8x8 home in 2004 cost $15,000 USD, which is great for West Africa here in the Gambia. So for $15,000, he said he can build up that structure for you. Okay, he's gonna get. He doesn't build it. He's like the site manager, the director, the coordinator. He hires the people to do it. You send them the $15,000, and they will do that part for you. They coordinate the whole thing. He asked them to build a 10x9. Now remember, 15,000 is for the 8x8. Sam asked them to build a 10x9 home. Automatically, it would be more expensive. Okay, we know that. So common sense tells us that. So I'm sure Sam expected to pay more. At least I hope he did. Not to mention the cement shortage. The Gambia has been through since before rainy season. That's something that Gambia goes through, is a cement shortage. Okay, that happens often in Gambia because of all the dang on building there. And they need sand to build. So I really believe it's not the building shortage. I mean, cement shortage. It's the sand shortage because they need sand to build. It could be both. I don't know. Could be cement and sand. But anyway, he says the cement shortage, which was about, okay. Hold on, I lost my place. Okay, when my wife and I told him this, he got upset and started to say the price wasn't the same as we discussed. So there's two factors: the cement shortage in the Gambia, and also he wanted a bigger house. So those are the two things that caused the price to go up. He never told us the size he wanted until he actually reached Gambia. So they were quoting him the wrong price because they were assuming that he wanted the 8x8. That's a mistake. You should always say, what is it that you want? You should always have that in writing. So that's problematic right there. So they were assuming that he wanted this small house, but he really didn't. Beautiful, stir up the sweet potatoes, please. So they didn't know until he actually reached the Gambia that about the price change. And now he's saying they were scamming because once he got there, the price changed. But that's because he wanted a bigger place. According to PVTV, he wanted a bigger place, and he wanted to, and the cement went up. That's why everything changed. It changed because of the size he wanted was larger. Also, he wanted overhangs in front and back, which was more material, plus a small shed in the front of the home. We told him the price would be $18,000 with the changes, and he called you. So when they told him, when he got there, this is how I got involved in this. Okay, when he got there, all this time he thinks it's going to be $15,000. But when he gets there, according to PVTV, he changes. Now he changes. Mr. Sam changes how much, what size he wants. The price of cement changes. But now, when the price of the cement changed, in all fairness to Mr. Sam, he should have been notified right away. When the price of the cement changed before he got to the Gambia, he should have been told the price of the cement has changed, and this is going to impact your building. Okay, he was, if now if the price changed while he was there, okay, I understand that. But if it changed while he was in the U.S., he should have been notified of that right away. And again, PVTV should have asked and made sure what size house he wanted before quoting him a price. All of this should be in writing. All of this should be clear. Writing, when I say writing, typing is the same thing. All of this should be clear. Before we talk prices, everything you want should be laid out clear, black and white. I don't use faith in people. This makes me want to work harder. Okay, so that is where he says things went bad with him and Mr. Sammy. When he got there, he said he wanted something that was going to cost him more money. All right, so let me go back and get y'all comments and see what y'all got to say about that. And then we'll go to the next one. All right. Why do you try to be fair, Steph? We do try to be fair, Steph. You are correct. Okay. Again, do they have the knowledge and qualification to be building anything? Well, they said they did. They told me they did. They told me they did. They said yes, and they said their business was registered. Okay. They said yes. They said, but building in Gambia is different from building in the United States. So even your building experience in the United States is not going to help you when you go to Gambia. I'm not a builder. I don't know. But like education is education. You know what I mean? The details might be a little different. Like he said, the materials might be a little different, but I'm sure the broad scheme of things are the same. All right. So that's what he says. That's what I believe I was talking to Adam. So that's what he says about the qualifications. I went back and I did ask him again. I asked him, what about licensure? Are you licensed to do anything, to do this? Because just because you registered the business does not mean your business is licensed. The first procedure for building a house, African Goddess says, is to get the property plan drawn up by an architect. Well, when they go through a step-by-step thing. Exactly. So let me show you what they sent me. Okay. I guess this is what they give their clients. He said they do this. They send them. Hold on, y'all. They send them. He said they send them this. I thought I sent it to y'all. I guess I didn't. Hold on. They do some kind of drawing. You're absolutely right. They do a drawing, and this drawing has well, why can't I see it up here? Okay, here it is. I'm sorry, I was on the wrong screen. All right, let me show y'all what I'm talking about, what he sends people. This is after you tell him what you want, you talk about it, he shows you this. Hold on. Okay, but this is not an architect. I think he said after that you pay some money and then you go to the architect. All right, so this is the drawing of what you're going to get. Let me make it bigger, and I'm going to keep my picture small so y'all can see it, okay? So this is what they're going to give you, okay? This is the tiny house. This is what you get for the tiny house, okay? Now, that's one. I guess this is an outside area. This is like a bedroom. This looks like a bathroom. I guess this is a kitchen. No, I don't know what this is. Maybe this is another bathroom. Oh, yeah, I think this is 2 bathrooms. This is a bathroom. This is a bathroom. This is a bedroom. This is a hallway. And this is like the sitting area. This is like that house I was in. And no, don't stack them like that. Lay them. You got to lay them flat.
I know, but this is 2 packs. Do you want me to open the third one?
Put them in 2 pans and let me see then. This is like the house I stayed in when I was in Gambia. This is a nice style house. I like this style house. It's simple and classy. I like this style house a lot. So this is what they send them. Okay, this is one of them. Let me show you the other one. So you get that, and then you get this one, and this one is a little different, I believe, or is it a different angle? I think this is the one he wanted. I'm not sure right now, y'all. But hold on, let me put this one up here. When I put it up here, I'll see if I can go look real quick. I think this is the one the different style that he wanted, or okay. So yeah, I think because Mr. Sam wanted a different thing. See how this one has the gate, the carport, the overhangs. Yeah, this is what Mr. Sam wanted. Okay. And I wonder if that was the design. Let me see. I think that was designed for the inside of his house. Hold on. Let me go back to the notes real quick, y'all. Okay. So he says, this is a 3D model we created for him that he did not pay for. Our services are listed on the website. So this was the outside of the house. The first of what I showed you was the inside of the house. So this was going to be a really nice bungalow when it was done. Yeah, this was nice. So this was it. It was a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. All right. That was the bungalow. That was it. All right. So let me look at y'all comments. Let me come over here and see what y'all saying. So this is when he said he was supposed to pay for this. Okay. So they were supposed to pay for this, but they didn't pay for it. Okay. But they didn't pay for it. Mr. Sammy didn't pay for this. Okay. So let's go with this now. Now. So now we got that out the way. So now we know what structures we're talking about. Okay. He said we made full layouts and designs before we sent it to physical planning. So before they sent it to physical planning, they did take it to the architect. They did all the physical, they did the layouts and all of that. Okay. He sent me a receipt where he says it was a total of 11,000 Dalasi. When the drawing is completed and the approval comes through, the approval is 1,200 Dalasi. He says, I can't tell you about the approval. If the payment is done, you have the receipt. The client can start. I can also build if the client is looking for so he's saying I think this is the police person. Somehow this is something else I did not like. The police commissioner was like in on the contracting. I didn't like that either. Okay. And he had something to do with, I don't know, this relationship just seemed really complicated. And I just thought I wouldn't use this contractor, this police person. So this is just the receipt he sent me about sending Mr. Sammy the drawing. He said, we go through the police with everything here in the Gambia. A police comment based on KMC region of the Gambia helps me with land paperwork. We see the message with him above. He clearly says 1,200 dalasi for approval fee. The other 11,200 dalasi is for the government worker who makes the official design. Okay, so these are more fees. Look at these fees, people. Okay, so I'm telling you, this is not cheap like you think it is. 15,000 for just the construction part, right? But this is before you even get to the construction part. You got to do the 1,200 dalasi. That ain't nothing, no. The 11,000 dalasi plus the 15. Okay. We also survey the land, so the total is 12,200 dalasi. He said he sent Samuel the receipt. He showed me all the receipts. I'm gonna have to put them up there at the end. The final receipt above is the government receipt of the approval stamp I sent him. And it's all on here. It's all the receipts that he sent to the government. Notice there's no issue. He leaves and receives an invoice for our services, like I said in the email. So I don't understand, why is it moving forward if he's not happy with the size of the house? So this is where I'm confused. Like, I don't get that. How is it moving forward when he's not satisfied with the house? He leaves. Okay, let me go down here. He had no connection for a borehole. The only ones available were 170 and 180. I guess that's the Lassie. My wife found a deal at 1,700. No, 117,000 dalasi. Oh my God! For him, saving him almost 1,000 dalasi. She stayed out there for 3 days in the heat. We have it, and they also have a transportation company. So look, that's the tour company, that's the transportation company, and that's the construction company. 3 companies, all right, and a consulting firm, all right. That's a lot. So the invoice was never paid. So he's sending the invoice, but Mr. Sam never, ever paid the invoice. He said he didn't owe us anything. He said the services were online, everything he physically had. That didn't make sense to me. It's still online, and everything we physically had already done. Finally, he tells us he will not build his home with us, which is fine, even when he said he won't pay us. My wife told him karma will get him, but then he threatened my family and my business. Okay, so this is the part I'm confused about, y'all. I thought when he got there, Mr. Sammy told Adam and his wife, I don't want to do business because these prices are not the same prices that you told me. Okay, but then after that, I have a whole series of receipts where he paid him money and they sent it to the bank, and looks like the business deal is going forward. So I'm confused. So, Mr. Sammy did all this before he got there. Yeah, it shouldn't have never went that far without clarity. If they're exchanging money, without clarity like that, that is a big problem. Okay, so now let me go down here and get some more comments. Oh, wait, I don't want to lose my place. Okay, so notice the picture above. He was talking with someone else who doesn't know Gambian land process. So Mr. Sammy went to somebody else. All right. He said after they went to this, he got the invoice and all that. Mr. Sammy sends this to PVTV, Adam, and he says he wants his money back. And he says, I mean everything. They charge 10 dalasi per square meter. And the plan was less than 100 square meter. That's a total of 1,000, I guess that's dollars. GMD. Gambian Dalasi, I'm sorry. That's 1,000 Gambian Dalasi. If I don't see my money returned in 24 hours, your company will be destroyed on YouTube and in social media. So that was a threat he sent him. Well, he said it was a threat. Adam took that as a threat. Notice in the picture above, he was talking with someone else who doesn't know the Gambia land process. But let me see. I don't know. While Gambia has a bad name and the plan was less than 100 square meters, that's a total of 1,000 Gambian Dalasi. So somebody's telling him that PVTV is ripping them off, is ripping him off, okay? They saying you're being overcharged and they're charging you too much. So then Mr. Sammy goes to PVTV, says, I want my money back. You're overcharging me. That is not cool. And I want everything. If you don't do that, if you don't give me all my money, then I'm going to contact social media and I'm going to let Kiki know. And Kiki's going to blast your story and you're just going to be, it's going to be done, but you're going to be done. You're just going to be done. You're going to be done. You're going to be done. You're going to be done. So that's where we are now. Then he says, notice the picture. That he said he was talking to somebody who doesn't understand the Gambian land process clearly. If they did, they would tell him you have to pay the government workers separately from the approval stamp. So he's talking about the bribe. So I guess they're getting the bribe into the price. So they're calculating your bribe in there. So you got to pay, like you got to, in Ghana, I think they call it grease the palm. You got to grease their palm. And in Nigeria, I forget what they call it there, but you give me something, or I forget what they say, you have something for me. Something, I forget how they say it. But basically, they want some money for what they do. If they're going to do something for you, they want some extra money. So they are writing that into your price. That's interesting. I've never heard that before, but if I'm reading this correctly, it sounds like that's what they're doing. I think Samuel is trying to use you. Honestly, this next photo is me clearly breaking down how the payment works. The same as how the commissioner told me in the picture above. If I was a scammer, I would have lied about the prices. I don't think Samuel was trying to use me. I think Sam looked at this as, at first I thought he was, being, was kind of trying to like be manipulative. But then I'm like, after I'm looking through everything, I'm like, no, he felt like this is my recourse. I'll go to the community. And that's what we do. We go to the community. And if we got an issue, just like they do in Africa, they go to the community and they tell the community. And the community calls that person and says, hey, person, we got an issue. We heard you did somebody in the community wrong. So that's basically the same thing. That's exactly what he did. He could have went to the authorities. He could have went straight to the FBI. He could have went straight to the Federal Trade Commission. He didn't do any of that. He went to Kiki Loves Nigeria. And all she gonna do is do a story. But if she find out you scamming for real, oh, she gonna go to the Federal Trade Commission and she gonna tell everybody else to go to the Federal Trade Commission and the FBI and the IRS and everybody. So that's why he said that, because he knows if we suspect that you're scamming, it's our duty to report it. And he's just doing the duty of what we do in our community. All right, so then he says, I think, okay. Now, let me get y'all comments. African Goddess. The first, okay, we talked about that. Hello, Debo, 15,000. Yes. The second step is to get your house plan approved by Physical Planning Department in Banjul, which should include an area of land. And that's what I didn't get. When I was watching his videos, the step-by-step of acquiring this land, y'all, it was like, You get the paperwork and then you sketch out where your land is. That to me seemed backwards. Like you get the paperwork from the Akalo and then you sketch out where your land is. That don't seem right. That don't seem right. Not at all. 18,000, yes. Any changes to the original contract needs to be stated and noted. Exactly. You can't do that. That's what I'm saying. You can't. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you. That's what yeah. She said it the correct way. Yeah, that's exactly what I was trying to say. You can't do that. You can't make changes and say, oh, it went up and this is the price now. No, you got to let me know in advance because I may not. And I had the right. I have the opportunity to cancel that contract if I want to because it's not the same. It is not the same contract anymore. Right. It's not what we agreed upon. Exactly. Yes. And that's it, Brother Robert. They're rookies. They're big. Yes. And I don't mean that in a bad way, Mr. PVTV people. I just mean this is just inexperience. It's just like someone said last week, I forgot who said it, but they said how are they going to teach you about life when they're too young to even have experienced life? Because you got to experience life before you can teach people about life. Hey, PVTV, hey, there's no contract until they come to the Gambia. See, that's a problem though. So you said there's no problem. So are you taking money before they come to the Gambia? Because if you're taking money before they come to the Gambia and there's no contract, explain that to me, PVTV. So he didn't tell y'all he was coming because, see, he want to see what's up with his money. So he probably was like, shoot, let me go and check them out and see what they're doing with my money. He said he liked the house he saw on our channel, but never mentioned the size change until on the ground. But sweetie, you got to go. That's where you got to be diligent. You got to be on your stuff and you got to say, hey, okay, Mr. Man, let's write all this out, and send it to them. Don't wait till they get there. Especially if you're taking money, you know what I mean? If you're taking money, no. Don't take no money. Don't take nothing until they get there, until they see it, until they sign it. None. My father was trained in the UK as a civil engineer. He built stuff oh, wow. That was nice. I bet y'all traveled a lot. PP Gambia. So this was a soft or preliminary quote. It don't sound like it. I don't think. But see, if it was a soft or preliminary quote, that should have been explained to him, Mr. Sam. Because if Mr. Sam thought it was a soft or a preliminary quote, he would have said something different. You know what I mean? He wouldn't have been all upset. He would have been like, okay, they told me this wasn't, price is subject to change. Say something like that, subject to change. The drug is a blue. Okay, the drug is what? I don't get that, Brother Robert. Did receipts come from PVT Gambia? Yes. They sent me their contract. Well, no, not their contract. They sent me, I'm reading you the receipts of what they said. They showed me the invoice. I don't know if this was an invoice. Hold on, let me put it up here, y'all. They showed me some bills. And they showed me what these people, what he told him, what I told y'all. And he says the prices were different. Let me show y'all something, see if I got a good one. But if it's private stuff on here, y'all, I can't show it to y'all. This one got his name on it, his full name. So I can't show you that one. Okay, but this one is, and now this one got a phone number. So I can't show you that one. I got to block that stuff. So let me see the other one. Here is some money that was sent All right, let me pull these up here. So yes, they sent me, they sent me the stuff, their business stuff and what they charge and everything and what they sent him that they charge. So it's not that they didn't have, it was to me, it sounds like it's more how the business was conducted. You know what I mean? It seems like it was more about that they feel like they weren't notified of certain things that they felt like they should have been notified. He should have been notified. And I'm kind of agreeing with him. Like, if it's like, you should know ahead of time what size land I want. You know what I mean? You should know ahead of time what size, if I want a different style of house, especially if we're in construction. Okay, so that was to me, that was another big thing. Okay, so hold on, let me show y'all these receipts that I have, that he sent me. But they both agree on the same thing. The problem is that what one is saying, they're pretty much saying the same thing. Okay, hold on, let me make this number big so y'all can't see their phone number. Okay, so let me show you the receipts that he sent me. Now they're pretty much saying the same thing, that he did send them the money. Okay, I guess they sent him the money. So he says, this is it. He says, good morning, brother. I'll send that to your account. What was the total? He said, hey, sorry for the late reply. I had to fix my phone screen. It was 11,000 Dalasi on the book, and 12,000 for the stamp of approval, which is 12,200 Dalasi. Wait a minute. I'm confused. 13. Hold on, y'all. That doesn't seem like that's adding up right, but hold on. Oh, that don't sound right to me. Hold on. So 11,000 Dalasi, right? And then he had to add on 12,000. Oh, I'm sorry. Now I see it. It's 1,200. Okay, that's what I have to. Okay. All right. So that's 12,200 Dalasi. He says, okay. And then he said, okay, bro, America's crazy, nonstop. People, he's just ready to go pretty much. All right. Now here, this is what he says. Okay. We saw that one. Then this one. We'll make this big so y'all can't see the number. So this is where he's asking about the price. And he says the prices initially were based on 8x8 home we built in Jambanjelly. The size difference, as well as the increase in the price of the materials just since our first builds, and experience gain leads to a true price that won't have you come up short. So he's saying that, our experience building for somebody else and everything else has made the price change. A bag of cement we could get for 370. Now it's 400 for the first build. In just a year, it's now 475 a bag. I won't go, so it says I won't go into many other materials. We don't want to tell you to lower than what's needed. When he said we don't want to tell you what's lower than what's needed. And also we want to give our people a price that's below the price that the locals charge us. So he's saying they're giving you a price that's cheaper than what the locals charge them. Now, how are they making a profit? That means they're going to always be operating in the negative, because I know the locals are charging them up. And that was another concern that I have. The locals are charging them up. I know they are. Because who's their front person? You know, who's their lookout person? Who's making sure everything's cool? You know, who's making sure of that? Who's checking, making sure they get the good deal? All right, now this is, I'm sorry. This is one of the receipts of where he was sent to somebody named Suleiman. I don't know who Suleiman is and why he's sending it to Suleiman, but the money went to Suleiman. And from the transaction with Paul, remember that was the police officer. There's another one coming today. So he sent him that receipt. All right, let's see if there's another one. And this is another receipt he sent. This is from the bank to where they did all the transactions with the bank. This is the transaction from the bank. So I don't think it was that. It was not that he felt like they were ripping him off with the receipts. You know, they were showing them that. But what he felt the problem was for him was that they were. Okay, let's see. He said, no, he was asking how much the build in our video. Oh, he was asking. Okay. So you told him the price of the one in the build. Hold on, y'all. Let me make sure I understand this. So he's saying, PVTV is saying, he told them that Mr. Sam was asking about the building, the one in his building. How much was the one in his building? He told him he could get that one. We told him it would be 15,000 when he finished. So we only spoke of, okay, but did he say that's what he wanted though? That's the thing. So y'all didn't put nothing in writing? Y'all didn't do none of that? Yeah, that needs a little more clarity than that. That's not good right there. Oh, yeah, there's a whole bunch of comments. Let me go read these comments. You can get these 3D plans free on the internet. That's what you need for planning permit. That's not what you need for planning permission. Nice floor plan. Thank you, Steph. PPTV says we send those designs to physical planning. You send those computer generated designs to physical planning and they accept those, as well as electronic and plumbing designs. Retonis and experts often share approved architect templates in Gambia. Remember, it's who you know in the Gambia. So they'll just share the plan and it won't be what they build. Eye movement, is that what you're saying? They'll just share a template and it won't be what they do when they just share it and just put it down there. AP and Jody arrived in the Gambia with zero building experience. They seem to have managed to build a beautiful house. Yeah, but how did they do that? How did they do that? And with no money. They were broker than a joke. They were sharing dang on mangoes. So how they do that? Off of y'all donations, off of y'all giving them money, feeling sorry for them. I don't get that, how grown people live off of other people. I just don't. That's just disgusting. Both of them are disgusting to me. To this day, we don't know how they make money, but they're building a big, beautiful home. How are they doing that? Come on, people, ask the questions. I were very true about the templates, but even Sammy knows we brought the design to the resort where we met him on the computer. We made changes in front of him, design and complete. So at that time, did y'all know what size he wanted? Adam or whichever one y'all are on here. When did y'all ask the man, what do you want? That's what I want to know. See, you can't, Adam, I love you dearly, sweetie. You and your wife seem so nice and y'all just working so hard. And I just really appreciate that. But let me tell y'all something. Y'all can't continue to do business like this because y'all gonna get in a whole bunch of trouble. Okay, y'all gonna get in a whole heap of, as my grandma would say, y'all gonna get in a whole heap of mess. Okay, so you got to have everything in writing, or you need to record the conversations and then put it in writing. If you can't put it in writing, but you can put it in writing, Adam, you can sketch it. And one of y'all are very good with computers because I can see it. So one of y'all, whoever's good with the computer, get an app, get something, and put it on your phone where you can take notes and you can do stuff real quick. Because this stuff has got to be in writing. Because if this man takes you to court, he's going to win. If he paid you any money, he's going to win. Because for one, you didn't have anything in writing and you were doing business with this man. All right. PVTV, physical planning is who? The physical planning office handles the land and housing documents. PVTV, does Gambia planning permission in the Gambia accept those designs? Yes, tell us, do they accept, or do you have to draw up Rick, like Rick? Rick, y'all remember Rick's designs? Rick's designs were not like that. Well, they were kind of computer generated, but they were not like that. Rick's designs were in detail. First time I'm hearing about Sammy character. What is the beef? The beef with PVTV is that they weren't clear about, he's saying that, Sammy is saying they're misleading the diaspora, okay? Oh, I'm way behind in the comments. They're misleading the diaspora. He's saying that they're overcharging us for their services, okay? And they have many services. They have a ton of services, okay? And they also offer travel, tourism services, and they said we're being overcharged for that. So that's the problem. We created the design, sent to the office where they made a government doc from it. So they approved it. Does that mean they approved it? I think the government department actually draws up the actual plans for the site. If they're free for physical planning, documentation, and filing. Exactly, African Goddess. After that, they get the designs. Oh, so they make up their version. Okay, good. Steph, yes, there's a fee for all the agencies. This is confusing from the jump. Exactly. That's why we should not be engaging in this. That's what I'm telling you. It's confusing from the jump. It wasn't clear. That's why I'm saying, but if it's not clear and I'm doing business with you, it's not going to be the fault of the customer. It's going to be the fault of the business owner. That's why you got to be clear. PVTV, did you give him a bill of qualities or a list of building materials? Yes. Did you give him that? He needed that. We know it is sad, but we have to deal with a lot on the way up. The Gambia land process is all of it is, because when you're not supposed to be, in actuality, you shouldn't be dibbling and dabbling in it. That's why Tanzania has changed it. So we foreigners cannot do it at all. You can't even be brokers. You shouldn't have been brokers in the first place because you're not licensed to be a broker. You need to be licensed to be a broker. Goddess, we never made it that far. After he did the borehole for free, mind you. So y'all did the borehole for free. He started to slow down on communication. He went back to America, and that's when he said he doesn't want to do business. So that's probably when he was asking around, and different people were telling him the prices. Common tactics. Someone told me, you're being overcharged. Give me the work contract. But shouldn't you have a work contract to begin with, though? PVTV, honestly, you need to explain the whole process to people. What will think you are being ripped, or people will think they are being ripped off. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. She's right. You got to. You can't be negligent on any end. Gambia, in all honesty, PVTV, you need to, okay, PVTV, the project was started. Right. See this stuff. That's why I'm confused, Lord. That's what I'm telling y'all. That's why I'm confused, because did they start? So if there's a borehole, that means you're building. So you're building without a contract? Why are you doing all this with no contract? Why are you doing all this with no clarity? PVTV, if you're still on here, I know I'm late to get to the comments. Please answer the question. In all honesty, Gambia is expensive and could be a swimming pool, plus landscaping for that money in Nigeria. Exactly. Yeah, Goddess, that's why we sent receipts. We have nothing to hide. Sam hasn't sent anything. We are completely yeah, he has not sent anything. He hasn't. He hasn't. Maybe he don't want, but Sam has a wife. Maybe his wife don't want him doing this. So in all fairness, maybe his wife don't want him doing this. Maybe his wife don't want this story out because the story is Sam was cheating with some young Gambian girl when he was there, spending money on her, you know, and the wife don't know, but the wife do know because she found out about it because I guess PVTV told her. And now there's some mess in his family. So maybe she probably like, I don't want, maybe she don't want her business all on YouTube like this. So maybe that's why he trying to stay low. Goddess is true. The Gambia currency is stronger than Nigeria. And that's a shame. That's a shame before God. If there was extra cost in facilitation fees or bribe, you should have told them exactly. Tell them up front and don't put it in. Tell them up front. That's why I don't do business in Africa like that. It's not like doing business here. When it's $5 here, it's $5. The extra is the tax. And it's, you can see it. Steph was a rookie mistake on our part. Okay. Getting my info off the Gambian government site. Goddess, where there were no fees. We didn't know that he didn't know. Yet money has been invested. See, this is why I'm confused. So when he hit the ground, y'all took the money and then y'all built the borehole, or y'all built the borehole, y'all start doing the plans and y'all start doing things without a contract and without money. Please make that make sense for me, y'all. If no money was exchanged, then how can Sam request a refund? Thank you. Something's wrong. That's why I kept having to put it down and go back to it. I had to put it down and go back to it because I got to think about this one. This one is one I got to think all the way through because it's like something's wrong and I don't know what's wrong. And I'm trying to make it make sense because this man ain't going to, and for the story that you cheating on your wife, he ain't going to get there. If he was cheating on his wife, he sure ain't going to put it all out there like that. Running around Gambia with some little young girls. No. And for him to write me, and he know what I'm going to do. So something's wrong. That's why I said this ain't making sense. This is not making sense. DeBose says, that's true, get PVTV. I actually just found that out. The Gambia Dalasi is definitely stronger than the Nigerian Naira. Exactly, Steph. Who is the scammer? That's what we trying to figure out, PVTV. We trying to figure that out right now. You guys need to see this as a learning experience in terms of how to manage clients in the future. Yes, because if not, people are going to continue to contact me. I'm telling you now. They're going to continue to contact me, and they're just contacting me. What if they contact the Federal Trade Commission? And if they contact them, they're going to want your license. They're going to say, what license do you have to do all of this? That's what they're going to say. They might contact the FBI. Tell them you're using the internet to commit a fraud. And it's PVTV. They don't have to prove that you're doing it. All they got to do is suspect. I suspect they're doing it because they're charging these exorbitant fees and prices for things like the tour, $20 tours, $200. I'm not saying they're charging $200, but that's just an example. My brain, well, how you think I feel? And I'm learning, I was reading this, learning a new curriculum, teaching first graders and doing YouTube at the same time. Yeah, that's how my brain feel. What are their credentials for home building? Did they do this in America? Wonderful wants to know. It's up to him to tell us if he wants the size changed. No, baby, it's not. We can't. No, baby, it's not. We can't read his mind. But when no, it's not. It is not up to him. It is up to you all. You are the business. You all are offering the service. You cannot assume that the customer knows anything. That's called negligent. That you did not ask. The judge will tell you, Mr. Adam, you are negligent. You were being negligent. When you assume a business, you think of everything that possibly could go wrong. If you don't do that, guess what? You considered negligent. Okay, Sam's issue is with the planning, not with the exchange of money. Sam's issue is with the price, the fees. It went up. And he says, that's not cool. But they're saying it went up because of the size. But they said that was his responsibility to tell them the size. That's why it went up. And the cement. Again, Sam should have been notified of this right away. Do you have chicken in the oven yet? Did you stir up the, okay. And the greens? Be careful because they're real, real hot. PVTV, wonderful. We built our own tiny house in America, but that was wood. This is all here. It's all brick. You have to build here to get experience here. Yeah, but it's kind of the same. Like building is building. Like you said, the materials was different, but the basics are the same. And building with wood, I'm sure it's completely different from building with bricks. And building in the Gambia on that soil is not the same as this soil in the United States. That's why they require you have a license to do that. Because you have to understand about soil because you're building homes. And the Gambia floods all the time. No, PVTV, you need to ensure the clients understand the size of the land, exactly how much the compound and living space you will have. Check and recheck a good, yes. You, it's gonna cook too fast. Can you put both of them together on the same one? That's gonna get you in trouble. That thinking right there, that's called negligence. You're offering this customer a service, but you want the customer to do all the thinking for you. No, PVTV, it don't work like that, babe. It don't. Indeed, Africa land formation has a thick clay layer. Yes, and that's what I'm saying. It's totally different from here. Totally different. You can't just assume, oh, I did it in America, I can do it here. No. You may have the basics of it, but you got to understand their soil. Their soil is so different. So you need to understand the basics of building, but you also got to understand that this is Gambia, and Gambia soil is different. Where I want to build is different. I need to understand what goes on in this ecosystem that I'm trying to build in. Ecology, was that how you say it? iMove says standard TANF house can be purchased for $100,000 for those that don't understand the basic and pitfalls of house building in the Gambia. Exactly. So that's a house already built, and these houses are nice houses, and they're $100,000. So how much you think it's going to cost you to build it on your own? You think you can do it for cheaper? You really do? You think you can do that for less than Taft? And Taft get the hookup. He get the hookup on the prices of everything. Yeah, it's an hour. We got to hurry up. Goddess, we don't deal with the land purchase. He already had his land. So y'all don't help him purchase the land. So y'all just, I could have swore I seen something on your channel about that. Okay, but we're gonna get back to that. Okay, yeah, we PVTV, we're gonna come back together and talk some more. Okay, because I got to give you all fairness, okay? And I want to point everything out to you because like I said, you guys seem like really sweet people, and I don't want to believe that you're doing this intentionally. Intentionally, I don't believe that. I just think that you just don't understand, because you don't understand how business works and customer service. You know what I mean? And some of these things, like, you don't know, and it's okay not to know. It's okay not to know. That's why we have a community where we come together and we talk about these things. All right. They had zero to do with this. Okay. Our prices can vary on a short period of time in Africa. Basis of exchange rates. Yes, they vary fast. Yeah, the prices change. Floodplains and drains. Yeah. No offense, wonderful, but I wouldn't live in a home built by someone who's just learning. I couldn't either. And not, especially not in Africa, honey. Not Africa, not here, not nowhere. Yes, I see how many channels created by builders that I sell completed or even incomplete structure homes. Movement, where you been? You just pop in and pop out. Where you been? If they are negotiating directly with cement factories, and did you tell me you was in the Gambia? And if you're in the Gambia, how come when I'm there, you never say, Kiki, come on, let's go hook up and go out to lunch? Explain that to me. If they are negotiating directly with the cement factories, they can get stuff, but exactly below cost, but they can't because they're Americans and they're young Americans. See, they got two things going against them: their age and their where they from. They're gonna play them all the way around. So they're not gonna get no deal. I'm telling y'all, Adam, I love you dearly, honey, like a son. You my YouTube son, okay? YouTube son. I'm telling you, them Gambians is spinning your head around in a circle. They acting like they giving you the hookup, but baby, they ain't giving you no dang gonna hookup. They ain't hooking you and your wife up. They're not. They're overcharging you every day, all day. Now that resort that you at, you can go to one of them nicer resorts, Adam. Even if you want an eco experience, there's others. But we're gonna get to that though. That's too much, Adam. I'm telling you. Like somebody like me, I couldn't take that, sweetie. I couldn't rough it like that. Okay. And a lot of the people to the Gambia or that go to Gambia, they're middle-aged and up. Okay. And it's hard for us to rough it like that. So we don't want to do that. So you might want to go get more people if you go more towards the city part where it's a little more comfortable, especially for that price. But we're going to get there. Okay. We're going to get there. If they are negotiating, okay, yeah, they're ripping them off. I'm telling you, I already know they are. Gambia is they're worse than Nigerians. Okay. Nigerians will at least give other Nigerians the hookup. Okay. Gambians ain't giving nobody the hookup. They're going to bust another Gambian's head. If they think that Gambian got some money, they're going to bust his head. I don't know if they still bust head, but that means overcharge. Okay. So they overcharging them. They think they're young and they're dumb. This is what they're thinking, because age, when you're young in Africa, that means immature. That means you don't know nothing. That means you get no respect. Okay. They don't respect youngness like that. Like here, Americans, they worship age, youth. Over there, no, they don't. They worship when you get older. That's where they feel like that's where the wisdom comes from. When you're young, you don't know nothing. So they don't respect them. They just feel like, oh, you got some money. Well, let me make sure I get it. So they're running into two issues, two big, humongous issues. So who's doing the negotiating from them? And what about the language barrier? What about that? Who's doing the talking for them? Wonderful. Oftentimes, the most experienced individuals only get called in when needed. See, they should be right there all the time. The lower workers do the work. You probably staying in a place built by beginners, but oversaw by experience. That's what she's talking about. We don't care, the workers, as long as somebody's overseeing that person, making sure they're doing it. But the overseer need to be experienced, because they ain't gonna be able to point out what's wrong because the new person don't know what's wrong. So that's what she's saying. You all are new. How are you all overseeing it when you don't know what to do? Same thing we do with our contractors. Eye movement, and old salt plains and rice fields disaster waiting to have seen. On old salt plains and rice fields. Wow, eye movement said it's a disaster waiting to happen. It was the exact same type of size of land. How could you be in a position to tell him the price? Unless it was the exactly. That's what I'm saying. You got to ask people that. You got to, like when I used to design dance uniforms and people wanted me to make them for them, the first thing I would say is, how many dancers? And what do you want? How much design? How much bling bling do you want? Because the more bling bling, the more money. The more dancers, the more money. How soon do you want it? The more money. Before we even done anything, I want to know the logistics. What, where, when, how. We only told him a house price, not land. No, babe, you shouldn't have told him nothing. If they did not go through planning permission, that building may get pulled down. So if they didn't, yeah. See, remember who told us that? Somebody told us that. Oh, my family told us that. Remember? They said that they'll go through and that land, that it'll be owned by the government, and the government will go down and go through and tear the houses down. Selling land, I think, Kiki. Yes, you must remember we are only talking about building, not land purchase, PVTV. Thank you, Steph. Shared templates still need to be approved by, yes, they do. Don't think he paid them any money. So did he, well, why does he want a refund then, Adam? He told us the size before we started to make the design. He was a part of the process. He vocalized the issue, vocalized the issue with it not being 15,000, but we communicated as much as possible. But again, it's not 15,000 because of the size and the cement price. That should have been told to him ahead of time. He paid. So why is he saying he wants his money back? We should. Yeah, you sure should have. Because why is he saying he wants his money back? Adam, why is he saying he wants his money back? But no, that's good that we got your story, because now we can go through your story before anybody else comes. Because remember, somebody else wrote me right after that. We getting to them. We got to do them next week because I got to go in a few minutes. Okay. We cannot sue, but he is damaging your rep. Well, he cannot, PVTV, well, he cannot sue, but he is damaging your rep. But is he doing it based on a lie? Or is he doing it because he truly believes he was wrong? See, that's what people got to understand with defamation. Defamation is, I know this cannot possibly be true. I know this cannot possibly be true. I have no receipts. I have everything telling me this is not possibly true. But I'm saying it anyway, and I'm putting it out there like it's truth. This is this man's truth. Okay, now PVTV, Adam, why is he saying you owe him money? What does he want a refund for? We need to have a panel. Yeah, okay. I got to get Sam up here. Is it clear on the government side? Cement prices can change overnight. But we got other stuff to talk about, y'all, before we get Sam up here. Goddess, our channel has grown from these videos. Anyone who goes off by evidence can see. Yeah, they are. They are transparent. They really are. I don't believe in the concept of being overcharged for a service. Hi, Piper. I like that name. Piper Solar Star. That's a cool name. One either buy or you don't buy. Right. Just have right. You're right, Piper. Nobody's making you buy it. How can I overcharge you when you agreeing to the price, honey? Exactly. Just have a contract of service so you know. Thank you, Piper. Exactly. You can't afford it or you cannot. Exactly. Gambia, you guys lost money on this one. PVTV, I'm still confused. Why is he saying he owe money when he don't? We got played, but we are not scammers. Is Sam? No, Sam is we ain't gonna say Sam's age, but Sam is the community member's age. He's our age. He's in our age group, okay? And that's why he said he wanted to deal with PVTV because they were young and he wanted to give them a chance. Oh, see how nice and sweet they are. He said, eye movement, Sam is older. That was so nice. That's what I told you. They're nice people. But it's just there. It's just like, but this is a good thing. It happened like this, you know, because we can give you some feedback on your business. You know what I mean? Now you got some real feedback, okay? Y'all got some real feedback from the community, you know, on what we think y'all need to do to improve. And if anything, it's going to help your business. Send besides, well, he didn't send nothing, Lanisha. And I'm trying to, he wrote me back. He jumped on and off. But y'all, I'm telling y'all, it could be because of his wife, okay? Now, remember, this man been accused of cheating allegations came out through all of this, that he was spending money on some young girl in the Gambia. So this man probably going through it at home. Thank you, Kiki. That's the truth. So we gonna something doesn't add up. We about to see. Are you assuming Sammy stated his desires? You're assuming Sammy stated his desires. Is his asking about their price for somebody else's house? Took a financial loss by jumping the gun. See, yes. Well, don't do that again. With that, yes. I'm sorry. Somebody told me quit doing that. A borehole was dug in anticipation of a contract. No, don't do that. Steph, we tend to trust and try to work. No, you can't do that. But it's a dog. But it is. It really is. Sam was doing business with a foreign country. If he employed U.S. contractors, he is expecting the process to be, he sure is, to be explained. They can charge extra for this. He is expecting it to be explained. That's what I'm saying. Are you from America? Because the business, nothing is done. Yeah, they from America. I think they from Alabama, Chicago, I don't know. I forgot. Yeah. Steph says, we are and we always have a contract. We don't, yeah, this don't make sense. He had a contract before he went back to America. Then no borehole. I'm going to talk to him. I'm going to contact Sammy when I get off of here, because none of this makes sense. Why would you because Sammy know if you lying to Kiki and she find out you lying, ooh, that's too bad for you. So I don't believe Sammy gonna come and lie to me and just come and offer me a lie. I don't believe that. And then you see in his communication with them, he's saying, I'm going to contact social media. If you don't give me my money, you're going to be destroyed. What money? If he gave them no money, why is Sammy asking for money? So why contact me if you gave him nothing? There's nothing to lose. We live here. We know the land. In fact, we live close to his land. Taft gave him reports as well. The builders are used to the land, so the soil isn't an issue for us. That the soil should be an issue. Kiki time zones. I'm never home on Saturday nights. Oh, we miss you, iMovement. We really do. I like when you're on here. You know so much. Can't change it any further. Can't engage in any further discussion. PVTV, are you willing to have a panel discussion, including Sammy here? Our purpose is to understand and correct some of the business. Yeah. Gosh, you are right, Kiki. Steph, we would have that with other business YouTubers or people in the world, but Sammy is not anyone we want to bring. Oh, Jesus. And you said that so politely. He said that so polite. I told you, Adam is the most polite dude in the whole world. Hello, Mr. Coleman. In the UK, we have a saying, penny wise is a pound of foolish. Pay professionals in the end. It could probably offset the negative impression of your business, but if you don't think your business is threatened by Sammy's claim, hey, it's all good. Sammy's claim, yeah, people don't know, but that's good. You're on here. You're not understanding me. If we do not know the type of soil, right, PVTV, you do not know the cost for the building the foundation. And then you have to, don't you got to build it differently? If it's different types of soil, like if it's a soil that shifts, don't you got to use different materials? And if it's like a soil that floods, but you shouldn't be building in a floodplain anyway. So that's true. Sammy is not a threat. We have real people to help every day. Our main source of income is not real estate, it's transportation. Yes, they have a transportation business also. Are y'all talking about purchasing land in Gambia? No, we're talking about a company who's doing contracts in the Gambia, construction in the Gambia. What about becoming obvious? What is becoming obvious, PVTV? I'm sorry, have only basic knowledge. This would not matter if they weren't working with professionals. He said he wants his money back for the land paperwork we helped him with. Again, we didn't get paid for getting the documents for him. Kiki showed you he sent him a receipt for everything. So that $12,200 Dalasi, that's what he wants back. So I got to ask him, that's what he wants back? So he wants that back. Okay, did he pay for that? Well, I have to catch on the replay to get the full scope editing. Okay. That took me out. Okay, y'all. All right, so look. What time is it? Okay. This is what we're going to do. So we're going to look at this website real quick so y'all can see the services that they actually provide. They provide a lot of services, and then we're going to have to get off of here. But actually, I really want, so there's so much I want to show y'all. Let me show y'all this first. Let's look at this. We're going to look at the house, okay? This is the construction project. All right, hold on, let me pull it up. I have it pretty up. This is the house, the tiny house, and I guess they're building it for a lady, okay? So this is their construction business. This is kind of like a commercial for their construction business. And after we do this, we're going to comment on this. Then I got to get off here because my son going to be talking trash. Then I'm going to start talking trash right back with him. So no, we got to get off of here. Okay. I want to share this video. No. Oh, no, I don't. No, I don't. Okay. What am I doing, y'all? Look, I'm getting all nervous because I know they're going to be here in a minute and I ain't done. They're going to say, Mom, you've been on YouTube? Okay.
Mangitura.
Now this again, this is just introducing. This video kind of just introduces their construction company.
Mangitura Adam, and our first tiny house build in the Gambia. Now, my wife knows this. I want to rebrand that tiny house name to Modest Mansions. So that's what we're going to be building for our first client here, Madam Leslie. Thank you again. For all of our subscribers.
Yeah, Steph is right. Please, y'all, go subscribe to their channel and go check it out. Look through the videos and send me the ones you have questions about, okay? Because, y'all, I really don't think they're scammers. I think they have good intentions, but, the road to hell is paved with good intentions, okay? So go look at the videos, pick out what y'all think is suspect or might be suspect, and because they don't know. They think it's normal, but it ain't. Like we can see it clearly. Okay, so go through, pick them out, and let's talk about them.
So, to our first client for our Modest Mansion build, Miss Leslie, thank you again, because it's just a blessing coming to Africa and being able to do what you want to do and more in such a short period of time, because we've only been here for 10 months. October 1st will be our anniversary. But, we just want to share this experience with you. We want to share this experience so you know that it can be done. It can be done here on the motherland. And another reason why we're showing these videos too is because, just like I said, she's our first client. And we want to show you that if you want a home built just like this, you can have it built as well. No problems. Anything you ask for specification wise, and full transparency. And that's what this video really shows, that full transparency. So please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Now, in this first portion of the build, you see we were doing the measurements in the very beginning. And once we had our measurements, we laid out just markers and began digging. So this is the trench work. Now, your trench depends on how wet your land is, of course, where your land is, type of soil, different things of that nature.
Now, should you have the measurements for this part? In my mind, I'm thinking all of that should be marked out when you go to get the land. But I never see that. These people never know where the land, and I'm not talking about them, but I'm just talking about in general. They never know where it is. Oh, it's over there or it's over there. They never know. Never.
Some people might tell you it's not good to build during rainy season, but building in rainy season has a lot of benefits. The ground is softer, so you can actually get your trench dug faster. We also have some materials here in the way of where we want the trench to be. So, I've been helping during the entire process, and we were just moving this stuff out the way, as much as we can. It's all manual labor here, so you're going to get a good workout for sure. Any process, any stage of this, you're going to get a really good workout. I'll say that. Now, once we got that stuff moved, we were able to continue, and it was going along very quickly because of the ground. Again, if you see the back wall there, it's a bit wet at the top, then it starts to dry a little bit. Yeah, it was raining, or maybe that morning it was raining, so this just helps the ground that much more. And whenever it rains, and say you have a trench you're digging and it's raining, you can just take buckets, or there's a method that they use where they get sand and they'll pour the sand down. It'll absorb the water, and then you can just take the sand out again, let it dry, whatever, use it for your next process. So here I'm just giving a good walk around, showing the progress that's being made, how we move that sand right there. Oh, there goes a lizard. There's a lot.
So see, this is what they do. Okay, they do the construction part. That's all they do. All right, they will build you this 8x8 tiny mansion home, which is cute. All right, it's really cute. Okay, so this is what they do. Now, let me check out. Was that the only construction one? Now, this was the last, let me show y'all this part. This was the last video, and this is what Sammy was talking about. Sammy said the only reason he wanted to do it was because he saw them building this house, okay? But he said all of a sudden, this was the last video about the house. He said he didn't see no more videos about the house. And he wanted to know what happened to the house. So this is them. This is the house now. And let me see when this video was dated, because I didn't see any more. But okay, that's what it is. He said they build it to the finishing stage. This is, I guess this is the finishing stage, y'all. And then I'll ask Adam. Okay, after I'll present everything, and then we'll have Adam come on, see if he'll come on here and answer questions. Okay, he was doing good in the comment section, because I know that was a lot coming at him at one time. But he did a good job. You did a good job, Adam. Keep it up. Okay. This looks like Kenz's place, don't it? Just in the middle of nowhere. So, okay, this was the last video about the house. And I don't know if this was just because it was where they ended with well, it said 70, but I don't see the 70. I don't see anything else. So I thought I asked about that, but I'll go back and ask about that. Okay, so now we have an understanding of what they're doing. Okay, did I show y'all? Could y'all even see that video? Who owns the land? Good question. I'll ask Adam, who does own the land? Exactly. I don't know who owns the land. I'll ask Sammy, see if he knows. But Mr. Sammy, I'm going to see if I can get him. He write me back when I write him, though. So I think I'll just have him. I'll ask him about the money. I'll ask him about the questions that we have. iMovement, I don't know who owns the land. That's a good question. So I don't know. Is he a brick mason? No, he's not. Hey, Kiki. Hey, how you doing? Is measuring tape compatible to land, sir? What? Because that's what they do. That's what I'm saying. So see, that's why people are on heightened alert now, because we've been through it enough, and we know it when we see it. And if they don't be careful, they're going to find themselves, like my grandma said, in a whole heap of mess. In a whole heap of mess. Like Steph says, right, Kiki, they take 10 steps and look for the baobab tree and keep walking, and there's your land. And they're like, oh, yeah, I see it over there. So see, this is the finishing house. And all this stuff is expensive. Girl, yeah, it do look like her house. Like the front of it, just in the middle of nowhere. All right, y'all. So I'm going to show y'all this website, and then we're going to be off. Well, actually, it's 3:30. I'm about to get off here now because I got to go. I got to cook. I told him I was. Hey, team member, I'm sorry, but we got to get off early today because I got to cook. My family is getting ready to come over here for dinner, and I'm not done cooking. How many tiny house plots within the compound wall? I don't know. And they're not in the compound. Remember, they're all over. He just builds them. So this lady's land was out there, and he just went out there and built it. So wherever Samuel's land was, he went out there to build. So it just depends on where your land is. But I don't know. I guess it depends on how big the compound is. Sight unseen. This is wide disparity. Yeah, it is. See, it's a cute little house, but it's just so small. I couldn't live in nothing that little. Yeah, Kenza. Still advising people. How's she going to advise somebody? Advise them on what? How to let a 20-something-year-old take all your money within 2 years' time. How to go broke in 2 years' time in Africa, in Ghana. How to go broke in less than 2 years. They broke her down in less than 2 years. I ain't never seen nobody go broke that fast. To be fair, building is super slow, even when with professionals. Rule number 1, I don't develop land that is not in your name. Exactly, because they're going to take it back as soon as you finish. Jay Caffey, she hasn't posted in weeks. She's done. No, she working for her little man. She working for her little man, trying to get that money up so she can go back and build the house. You know, she got to send money back to take care of everything. She got to pay for everything. So she got to send money back. So she's trying to get her car so she can drive Uber so she can send money back. That's her goal. That's how she going to spend the rest of her life, sending money to Super Shorty. So thank you so much, y'all. And thank you, PVTV, for coming out this evening. So we'll be back on here next Saturday, and we'll be talking about PVTV again. We'll go more, and we're going to continue to deep dive. Deep dive. That's what we're doing. We're deep diving now. So get your scuba gear out. Get your what's it called? The oxygen mask. Get that on, because we're going deep. And I need y'all to go deep with me. So y'all going to have to go through the channel just like I have to go through the channel. I need y'all to go through the channel. I need y'all to look for the videos. I need y'all to look for whatever y'all think is suspect, so we can point that out, because they don't know. I don't think they know, because they wouldn't no one would knowingly set themselves up to be on our radar. And I asked Global African, did you go on one of their trips? He said, no. I said, did you know anybody who went on their trips? He said, I hope I didn't. And I said, well, what made you bring them to my attention? He said, because it just didn't sound right. The fees are ridiculous. And then he started breaking the fees down. And I said, oh, so you just knew this sounded like somebody was taking advantage of the community. And he said, yes. And he sounded the alarm. And that's what we're supposed to do. So thank him for sounding the alarm. What is this we got on here? Let's get this off right now. So next week, we will be back on here, and we will, like I said, going deeper into PVTV, their tours. We want to look at the tours now and the other complaint about them. All right, I'm going to get clarity from Sammy about the refund, but we understand the construction and what they do. Next week, we're going to look at the other complaint, which is their tours and how expensive they are. All right. So I'm sorry we had to rush through today, but y'all know duty calls. All right. I love y'all so much, and I will see y'all next Saturday. All right. Bye, 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 bye.